The government seems to think it can regulate just about anything. Now, even your children. In San Francisco, there's a push to stop kids from receiving toys with their meals. Lawmakers there want to demand restaurants put vegetables and other foods the lawmakers think are healthy in items like Happy Meals. And if they don't, then those fast food chains can't offer the toys with the food. What business is this of the government? To our freedom fighters for reaction, trends analyst Gerald Celente, Professor Walter Williams is still with us, and Occidental College political scientist Carolyn Heldman. Carolyn, to you first. What business is it of the government what you feed your children?
Well, Judge, when it costs taxpayers $75 billion a year because we have skyrocketing rates of obesity in the United States, I think the government should definitely get involved here. The fact of the matter is that kids go to McDonald's because of the toys, not because of the food. And McDonald's doesn't serve food. They serve food products that are laced with addictive ingredients, including high fructose corn syrup, lots of salts, lots of fats. So we, as a country, need to decide this is a public health issue and step in accordingly.
Professor Williams, the government can't deliver the mail, can't run the Defense Department, can't balance the budget, can't fund Social Security. Now it's going to tell us what to eat?
Well, that's absolutely right. And you know where it began? It began with many Americans supporting the no smoking movement. That is, we told government that they can interfere with our rights, our human rights, all if it depends on our health. Now they're just doing anything. And so whenever you say government can do something in the name of protecting us, they can do anything. Now, I would not be surprised, and I would not be surprised if some of my fellow panelists will agree to the day when government can tell us what time to go to bed in order to maintain our health.
He makes a very good point. Is there no limit to what government thinks it can do? Stated differently, who in their right mind would trust the government over parents when it comes to raising and feeding children, Jerry?
You hit it right on the nail on the head. It's the parents' responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility. Is this country in terrible shape? It absolutely is. But you know, as I look at it, there's a trend opportunity in here.
What's the trend?
Fast food, health food. A higher level quality of food. I'm not talking about Buddha burgers or Coca-Cola.
All right, you're talking about an entrepreneur doing this. You're not talking about the government compelling it. Carolyn, you're a well-educated woman. Would you let the government tell you how to feed your children?
Well, I'm a well-educated woman who wouldn't eat at McDonald's because I know better, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of poor individuals in the United States with limited resources, and McDonald's markets its food, and other fast food chains market their products as food when they aren't. It's a big shift, and as a result of that, we see skyrocketing rates of obesity because of false advertising.
Professor Williams,
it's not simply a matter of choice.
Can anybody, Professor Williams, make a serious argument that government controls have helped the poor? They've made the poor poorer, and they've made the groups of poor more numerous.
Oh, that is absolutely right. But see, this is the arrogance of people. That is, there's nothing older in the most uglier parts of human history that some people know what's good for the other people, and they're able to, and they're willing to use the force of government to impose their will on other people. And what they're saying is that poor people are too damn dumb to know what to do, and so we have to take care of them.
I think he's right on the mark, Jerry. Aren't we talking about freedom versus control? Aren't we talking about the right to make a stupid decision or a wrong decision, but at least the freedom to make it? And aren't we talking about, well, if there's a safety net, I can be reckless because the government will catch me when I fall?
Well, exactly. In addition to that, it's not going to help. Look at the menu labeling laws in New York City. They've done nothing. You cannot legislate intelligence. What are they forcing McDonald's to put more vegetables on the menu? That's like forcing George Herbert Walker Bush to like broccoli.
To like broccoli. Gerald Celente, Walter Williams, Carolyn Heldman, stick with us, please. Is a job in America a right today? Do you have a right to a job? These people think so. Look at them. They call themselves 99ers, as in 99 weeks of unemployment checks. And that's not enough for them. Next. That angry group of people protesting call themselves 99ers. They want unlimited unemployment benefits. And many of them go so far as to say a job in America is a right. We're back with our freedom fighters. We're back with our freedom fighters, Walter Williams, Gerry Celente, and Carolyn Heldman. Carolyn, don't tell me you go for this stuff, that in America you have a right to a job, otherwise the government will pay you not to work.
Well, you know, which is it, Judge? Are you critical of them because they want a job or because they want unemployment benefits? I mean, I'm all in favor of offering unemployment benefits until the job situation turns around, and I think everyone has a right to a living wage.
What do unemployment benefits do? Do they encourage you to stay on the unemployment benefits, or do they encourage you to look for a job, Gerry?
Well, I've heard some experts that have done studies on it that do say that people are encouraged not to work until their unemployment benefits run out. Does that include everyone? Of course not, but there has to be a limit. You just can't keep the system going by dumping money into people that aren't working. We have to create real jobs.
Professor Williams, if rights come from our humanity, as Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, there's no right to a job, is there?
No, and when somebody says that there's a right to a job, they say, they don't have a right, people don't have the right to engage in peaceable voluntary exchange. And then also, so far as unemployment compensation is concerned, since 1948, the duration of unemployment has doubled, and one of the reasons is unemployment compensation. And when you tell somebody that he has a right to something that he did not earn, that means of necessity someone else does not have a right to something that he did earn.
Carolyn, I know you're an economist and not a constitutional scholar, but where in the Constitution is the federal government authorized to pay people not to work?
Well, I looked at the Declaration, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is really the pursuit of wealth. And in that sense, I think all of us as Americans have that right. And this whole notion that people somehow become dependent on unemployment, I don't know what studies your panelist is referring to, but that's simply not the case.
When I was
people
looking
don't want to not have jobs.
All right, thank you, Carolyn. When I was looking at those people rioting or demonstrating, it wasn't a riot, nobody was getting hurt. We want jobs down in Wall Street. If you blink your eyes 3 times and you don't listen to the words they're using, it might as well be Greece. Let's see, these people are out of work. So instead of looking for jobs, they're demanding a freebie. What has become of a society where people say freebies are your right under the Constitution?
It's the bailout mentality. Bail out the big guys, bail me out. Too big to save, too big to fail. It's the same thing.
You know, Professor Williams, Gerry may have a point. They're down in front of big banks saying, you got bailouts, why can't we? That doesn't justify any of the bailouts, but you can understand how the pendulum swings, how the center of gravity moves when government starts giving billions to corporations.
That's just, you're absolutely right. That is, once legalized theft begins, that means taking somebody else's money and giving it to somebody else, it pays for everybody to get involved. And those who don't get involved, they wind up holding the brown end of the stick. And that's one of the tragedies in our country.
Walter Williams, Gerry Celente, Carolyn Heldman, thanks for joining us. Lou Dobbs and Tom